Erik, looking back at that performance, the first half and second half, two completely different games, but the first half in particular, 2 goals down quite early on, but grew into the game after that.
It's quite clear. We were not awake and still sleeping. First 15 minutes, and we prepared them. They are a threat in transition. We have seen second goal, can't happen. You are not awake. Bad rest defense, but especially in the midfield, we ran off. It's not possible, unacceptable. And as the first goal is as well, was set play, bad organization, undisciplined in the organization. You concede goal, but after that, we came in the game, and a penalty, but I think it was a clear one. I think maybe second half we have to deserve another penalty, but this first one was a clear one, and. Yeah, we came in the game, but we couldn't make the equaliser before halftime.
Well, that's it. And the equaliser came early in that second half. A brilliant start from the young lads who came on the pitch. Were you pleased with that first 10 minutes of the second half?
They gave energy. They run, they fight. Maybe not always in the right organisation. They make mistakes, and they are not used to play in this level, but it was a good lesson. You see, when you make small mistakes, that have big consequences, and that's what happened. And then, finally, then you lose the game.
Well, you speak and you mention the word fight quite a lot. Is that what you're asking for the majority of your players to just give it their all out there on the pitch?
Yeah, but I think that has to be the standard always, and be fair. So first 15 minutes, that cannot happen. That is not our standard, and that should not happen. So yeah, that is for me. We've spoken about. We'll do it tomorrow again, but then we have to strike it, draw a line, and then move on. But can't happen in the future.
And what was the message to the players? The main message in the dressing room after the game?
Now we are unhappy with this game, and of course you always have a game. Even when you lose, you have some positives, but today are more negatives.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
Yes.
Zidane, it was a bit of a tricky game, was that one. Obviously, first 45 minutes completely different to the second. We'll focus on the first. 2 goals down in 30 minutes, but we did well to grow into the game after that.
Yeah, 2 sloppy goals, first game back after a little break. So, we'll look back at it. But yeah, I thought we grew into the game. But, great experience overall in Spain, adapting to the weather, and just get the fitness up first 35 minutes.
Well, that's it. And your performance personally was one of the many positives to take from that. Obviously, coming off at half-time, the team switched. Will you be looking forward to Saturday and getting back on the pitch again?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the whole team did well. Maybe the first 10 minutes a bit sloppy, but I think we grew into the game as a team together. Saturday playing Real Betis, strong side, high up in the La Liga. But, it'll be a great experience, even for the lads that came in the second half. We're all young, we're all still learning. So, yeah, it's been a great experience so far.
Well, that's it. A lot of the lads who did come in the second half, you're used to playing football with them week in, week out. How do you think they fared in the second half?
I thought they did well. They competed. But, we're still learning, so like little sloppy mistakes obviously end up in goals and stuff. But, we're still on our journeys. So, yeah, I think we all did well, and, there's more to come.
You say you're learning. What was the biggest thing you learned about playing against Spanish opposition tonight?
Different tactics. I mean, they kept 2 strikers high, and they kept the 2 wingers. So just about the counter-attack, just staying deep and screening. But, different opposition, different tactics, different weather, different place. So, yeah, all of this adds up, and, yeah, it's been a good experience so far.
Yeah, well done.
Cheers. So, thanks for joining us.
Congrats,
mate. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
What's your objectives for this week?
Are the more objectives as in every training camp, but certainly is to get back into the rhythm of the game. So first fitness levels, and then second the way of play, to improve that. And then we are with the mixed team. So if I talk about several objectives, so we have a lot of young players with us as well. So they have to support us, but also they can show themselves what they have on, and what their capabilities are, and what their potential is, and if we can use them, if they have a future.
Yeah. Is it hard for them? Do you see it hard for them to come up and express themselves? Is it like the mental challenge that they face? come press you basically as the manager?
But I think it's a great opportunity for them. Normally we don't have this break. Now we have this break. Many players are in World Cup, so there are positions available, and they can get used from these positions, and they can show themselves, and they can challenge with players who play Premier League. So that is a fantastic event for them.
Yeah. And for the senior players, the likes of Anthony Martial, who obviously was getting back to fitness, and the rest of the boys that are here, is the same objective, to keep fit, just to be ready for the Burnley game coming up?
Not to keep fit, to get fitter, and to improve the fitness levels. And so if we see the season so far, especially in the front line, we didn't always had the players available. And when they were available, they were not always capable to be in the right fitness levels to compete. And so this is an important objective to fill that gap, to close that gap, that we are better after the winter, from in the restart, that we are better to compete and to match the fitness levels from the Premier League, and especially from the top 4.
Have you noticed a big difference in intensity from the Premier League, from the Dutch league to the Premier League?
It's a big difference, yeah. But those players usually they can match, and they are already a long time they are in that league, so they know what it is like. But you push yourself, and what they need is a proper program. And when they do that program, they come in the right levels.
Yeah. So you got Cadiz, obviously Real Betis. Were they specifically pick those games for a certain reason, or what are you trying to get out of those games?
I think there are two good opponents playing in La Liga. What we all know is a good competition. So we get really a challenge in both games. Cadiz played last game against Real Madrid, and they lose only 2-1. So then it's a tough opponent, and Betis also we know it's a really good opponent. So we are really looking forward and to work on our way of play. And as I said, for younger players, it's a good challenge, and it's a fantastic opportunity to show themselves.
Yeah, and obviously World Cup's on at the moment. Have you been taking a lot of the World Cup in? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, out of several reasons as well. It's a fantastic event. All the top players are there, so really nice to watch that. And of course, a lot of players of us are there in different teams. So I watch a lot. I follow them all. Try to keep in touch with them. So I'm really happy with the performances from the most, and that's a good message to our team to work here. It's a motivation, even because we have top class players. So now it's about getting the best team, and we want to achieve something this season.
Yeah. And are you watching as a Holland fan? Are you looking, or you looking from afar?
Of course, when Holland is playing, I have a connection with a lot of members of the Dutch squad, the players in particular. We're also with the staff members, and of course it's your country, then you follow. But I can also enjoy like England, Argentina, Brazil, Portugal, where our other players are.
Has anybody surprised you? Any team surprised you in particular?
So what you see is World Cup, that in the start, difficult organization is not always that well, because they was in this time in particular less preparation time, but it's always national teams because players coming from a lot of clubs, and then they have to form a team. But you see the intensity is that high, and then playing for your country, I think it gives such a boost, and then that makes up an increasing of the intensity, and I think it's fantastic to see it, and that in relationship with the quality of the players. So it's really enjoyable. If you see yesterday at the game of Brazil, it was a fantastic performance, and that's, I think, why we like football.
In the job now, looking back, so if we go back to say the Brighton game and the Brentford game, beginning of the season, quickly switched the way the team performed after that. What were your key findings and how did you switch it around so quickly?
Yeah, once I think it's logical when you change in an organization, change way of play. That takes time. But in top football, you never get time, and opponents are they want to kill you, and then that's happened. So we have to quickly adapt, and I think our squad did terrific. How the mentality changed. I think our way of play changed during the season. The style, and I think we are growing, and we have to keep the process going.
Yeah. Do you think that Liverpool, obviously the game that you won well, do you think that was a key game off the back of those two games to go into, with obviously the rivalry between the two clubs and the intensity of the game itself?
I think definitely, and so especially in mentality, so the belief that we can compete with big opponents, that we can beat them, that gives a certain belief in the group, that we can compete with all the opponents. Doesn't matter which it is, because Liverpool is a really good team, a world-class team. So when you beat them, you can take that belief into other games.
Yeah, and then obviously, like the Tottenham game was one from the outside in. It looked like the team was performing in good rhythm. Obviously won the game. Would you put that down as one of the best performances?
Yeah, I think we played some more good games, like Everton away, Chelsea. I think a really good performance. But Spurs definitely. I think on that night we played the best performance in this first 14 games in Premier League. But that is like a standard, and we have to build on, and we have to progress. But by far, we are not there where we want to be. And if you want to compete for trophies, you have to be to do much better in a lot of elements of football, and that is what we're working for. But if you're then still in the 5th position of the league, then I think we are just in the right position. If we do the right things, if we work good, we have a good plan, and then I think it's hopeful, and it gives us a good idea where we can finish.
Yeah, is that sort of like a key message you keep sending, like yourself, Steve, Mitchell, and the rest of the coaching staff? It's about standards and discipline, because obviously I grew up under Sir Alex here, and that was a key message. Is it something that you are instilling, always pushing with the boys?
Yeah, we have to, because we have huge ambition. And if you have to follow the highest standards, and you have to live them every day. And only that is the way to get better and to get improvement in. And as I said, I'm happy where we are now, but I also see in a lot of elements of football room for improvement.
Yeah. Do you see that, obviously you brought in the transfers in the summer, were they key personalities that you wanted to come in because they're winners, and because you've worked with some of them before, was that a key thing, having their mentality in the dressing room?
Yes, we looked to football players. Of course, that is the first thing, the capabilities a player has, but the human being behind is also an important factor, what you can't underestimate. And you need the right characters in your dressing room to win, to not only to win a game, we want to win trophies.
Yeah, you can see that with the late performances, the late wins, the Casemiro goal, the Garnacho goal. There's a never say die attitude that is coming back through the squad, and from an outside in looking point of view, it looks like you're on the right trajectory, and you feel that.
I have the feeling, we have the feeling that we are in the right direction, but we also know it's still a lot of work to do for us.
And looking ahead, obviously we've got Burnley. There's a possibility that someone in the squad could be coming off the back of a World Cup final and then 2 or 3 days later playing against Burnley, which has never been the case before. How do you keep the players tuned in to getting straight back into club football?
Yeah, we had a plan we prepared the players, what the plan is, and there is so there can't be any confusion what's the program is, and so we make the players aware of the fact that after you are out of World Cup, you have to return to the club, and the league immediately goes on, and then you have to be ready for that. But I think our players are used to it. Our players are winners. They are battling now for World Cup, and in the moment they are out, and hopefully one is the winner. Then they have to deal with that, with the success or with the defeats they have. They have to deal with it and get ready for another challenges.
And obviously, transfer window coming up. You know, we've had one departure in Cristiano Ronaldo. How have you managed that situation?
Yeah, it's he's gone, and it's the past. We're now looking forward. We're looking into the future.
And Barcelona, you may have never managed the team against them. Is that something you're looking forward to as well?
Yeah, but it's in the back of my head. We have first a lot of other games to cover, and I like the style of Barcelona. Clear, going to be a great competition between us. We're looking forward, but as I said, still first other games are coming up. We focus on that, and then in the moment it's up, we will give our best. We make a clear plan, and then we have to beat them.
Mm-hmm. And what does success look like this season? Obviously, it's a progressive season. What does success look like for you going forward?
First, we have to get the team in the position we can win something. Yeah. So that is our first focus point. And in December or January, no team wins a trophy. So we have to get in the right position. So in April. And that is what we have to work for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Well, thank you. I wish you well for the rest of the season, and thank you for your time.
Please.